Today, we're going through our top 15 linebackers. Folks, we are all gathered here today, B. Ross, Josh, / Metro, and myself, to go through our linebackers and our 3 different tiers. We've got 15 of them for y'all here, and we're going to waste zero time. Let's get it rolling. Metro, kick this off with Brandon to follow.
So I have a slash for one of mine, so kind of hear me out here. At 16, not 15, I got 16. At 16, I got Eric Gentry. 15, Aiden Fisher. 14, this is the caveat, I got Owen Heineke. We'll talk about him here in a second. 13, Keyshawn Elliott. 12, Torian York. 11, Caleb's Alarms Or.
I don't have 16. I have 15. 15, I have Jack Kelly. 14, Torian York. 13, Caleb Elam's Or. 12, Bryce Spicer. And 11, Keyshawn Elliott.
All right, folks, to kick this off, Metro, you threw a curveball at us. What's going on right here? What's this centipede of a rankings we got going here?
Trust me.
Explain.
I don't love doing this either. I hate being this guy. Owen Heineke is suing the NCAA for 2026 eligibility. Who isn't suing NCAA? I mean, Brandon, if you probably wanted to, you could probably get an extra year out of those guys.
I would love
to. The NCAA is soft as Charmin. They will let anybody just screw them over for another year, and I absolutely hate it. And Owen Heineke, for whatever reason, is in this next fold of trying to get back to college, which, by the way, I'm all for the players. Make your money. I will never complain about a player making NIL, especially if you're going to make if you're going to make more money in college than in pros. But the NCAA just is so unbelievably soft. They don't put the hammer down on nobody. It's stupid. No. Trinidad Chambliss, oh, come on, man. Yeah. 7 years in college. Yeah, whatever, dude. It's stupid. It's dumb. I hate it so much. But Owen Heineke, we have put the caveat because I don't know if he's going to be in this year's draft class because he just literally put it in a few days ago. So that's why I had to do 16 because Heineke was in my top 15. And then, we got to figure out what's going on there, whether he returns or not.
Yeah.
But that's why I put in Eric Gentry, who I guess we want me to pivot to Gentry now.
Please do.
All right, man. Eric Gentry, one of the weirdest built linebackers you'll probably ever see. 6'7", 221 pounds. It's like watching LeBron James play linebacker. It's weird. It doesn't look right. It doesn't make sense. But Gentry's pretty good at it, right? Now, USC kind of deployed him in a variety of different ways. He played 462 snaps in the box, 92 on the defensive line, and 110 in the slot. So they used him all around, and he was a pretty productive player. I thought in coverage he was solid enough. I thought he can get the job done. He triggers downhill. He's pretty physical. He's so big that it's like you would think he just doesn't play with that natural leverage.
Yeah.
But he tends to play with a pretty good leverage despite being 6'7". He's kind of a lankier built guy. He's a tough projection because I personally think if you're going to draft this guy, you should just play him off the edge. Being 6'7", it's really difficult for me to imagine him translating that to the NFL, even though he is a good athlete. Like he ran a 4.5, or I think he's supposedly running a 4.59 at his pro day, and has a 35-inch vert. Like he moves fairly well. 6'7" is tough to imagine him taking on blockers consistently at the NFL level. Whereas I feel like, okay, he's 220 pounds now. He's got such a big, wiry frame. Can he not stack on 15 more pounds of muscle and get to like 240 and play a little bit of, off the edge a bit more? I don't know. But as a pure talent, he's made a lot of plays out there for USC. He made a lot of plays throughout his career, and I just wanted to give the guy a chance, right? Worst case, you put him on special teams, he could play a role there. 6'7", I'm not saying he's the guy you want coming after your punter, but that's a massive frame, and I can kind of see him being sort of a weapon used on special teams, on kickoffs, trying to block punts, block kicks. I think that could also be kind of a part of his role as well because of how big he is. But he's a weird prospect just in general, just because of how big he is. And you don't see a lot of we're going to talk about linebackers who are 6'1". We got one who's 5'11". So seeing a 6'7" guy on here, it's a bit weird, but he can absolutely play, and he did a lot of good things for USC.
Yeah, Gentry's a guy that he's so toolsy that if a team drafts him, you just know they have a plan for him. You can't just draft Gentry and see how it works out. You got to have him synthesized step by step. This is what he's going to do for us today. This is what he's going to do for us tomorrow. So Eric Gentry kicking us off. Thank you, Metro. I'm going to jump to the other side. Brandon, Jack Kelly at a BYU is on your list, and he is not on Metro's list. You have him at 15. The floor is yours. Talk to us about the linebacker Kelly.
Yeah, so I put Jack on my list because, like, for everything he doesn't do well, he plays fast and he plays physical. And me personally, as someone who's played in front of guys who played like that and who hasn't played like that, I like guys who just declare it. You can be wrong, just be wrong and fast. I personally enjoy it. I don't care if you're wrong. I can fix it. So Jack Kelly, he's a heavy-handed guy. To me, he's actually more productive when he just lines up and he rushes the passer, or when he's on the edge, when he's playing more like a Sam linebacker than when he's playing stack. Not saying that he can't do it, but he lacks quickness. He lacks the natural feel for playing stack sometimes. Whereas when he's playing over a tight end or playing out in space and then he can react in, he's a better player to me. But with that being said, when he has to take on blocks, which I personally enjoy watching him do, he's strong, he's powerful, he's violent, like all the things that I've played in front of guys who were like that and who weren't like that. I want the guys who can take 2 blocks and make my job easier. So I appreciate guys like Jack Kelly, who's like, he's like a kamikaze. I'm going to run in and blow up the whole building. I thoroughly appreciate that because why? I don't have to touch anybody. All I have to do is make a tackle. All I have to do. I don't have to find a block. I don't do anything. Jack Kelly plays unselfish football, and he allows his teammates around him to make plays at times. Hence why, like, he doesn't have the same productivity as some other guys, but he's a good football player. He is limited in space. He's really not that good in pass coverage. Doesn't have a natural feel for it with routes in front of him and behind him. But with that being said, the fact that he plays fast, it allows, again, the guys behind him to see that, okay, Jack made a mistake, I can correct it, opposed to the guy who's second guessing himself and trying to make the right play. Jack just makes a play and lives with it, and I can appreciate that.
No, of course. He's got a ton of upside, like you said. If you're going to be wrong, just be fast. And, man, you've been in the building, Brandon. The coaches say that all the time, especially when it's August. Get there on.
They live on August, October. They don't care. Hey,
10 games into the season, we're still saying it.
Be wrong, just be fast. We don't care. We can fix it. That's the rule. And Jack, to me, plays like that.
That's right. He's going to fit in somewhere, make a big-time difference. Let's now bounce back to Metro. You got a linebacker named Aiden Fisher from Indiana on the national championship squad. You can't be a bum and play backer for the national championship. So, Josh, walk me through Aiden Fisher.
Yeah, this is he's a prototypical Indiana player, right? Kurt Signetti really had a team of guys who just bought in and filled their job, did the things the way he taught them to do. You look at Elijah Surratt, kind of that same mold. You look at some of the offensive linemen, same sort of vibe. It's the same thing with Aiden Fisher. He is a fundamentally sound football player that is not physically nor athletically gifted, but everything up here is really sharp, right? He processes the field very well. He attacks contact quite well. He's always in the right gap. He's never going to be somebody who's always out of position. Like, he's a fundamentally sound player. He's a very, very handicapped player in the sense that, like, his floor is okay. His ceiling's, a rotational piece, special team sort of guy, because he's not the most athletic guy in the world. He's not the biggest guy. He's going to struggle to get off blocks. He's going to struggle to stack and shed. He's going to struggle to, tackle in open space versus really shifty guys like him and Jahmyr Gibbs. It's probably not a competition. Gibbs is going to break that tackle, but when he can play inside the box, when he can fill a gap, he's good. And that's going to give him a role in the NFL. He just does a lot of things very well. I don't love him in coverage. I think he's not he's not terrible at it. He's just not great at it. I think he's growing there, but he's not a high upside. He's not a high ceiling guy. He's just kind of who he is, which is a fine rotational linebacker that, again, you draft on day 3 and you're like, okay, he'll be our second string or third string linebacker and play his role. And I thought for both James Madison and then, of course, in Indiana, he did that perfectly and did a lot of things well on a team that, obviously won the national championship. So yeah, just a really smart leader type of guy that will be a good locker room presence as well.
That's an elite breakdown right there, Metro. Thank you. I like how for the comp, not the comp, the matchup, you gave him like the Vietnam of all matchups, him and Gibbs in the A gap. It sounds
I know. That was quite unfair.
Jesus.
I was like,
Like,
sounds
who
scary.
wins?
Man.
Who
Yeah.
wins,
Who
Jerome
wins?
Bettis or D'Angelo Pons? Let's figure this one out. It's like, what are we doing, dude?
Oh,
man.
That was on me.
All
That's on
right.
me.
It's fun though. Good stuff on Aiden Fisher. I want to bounce now to your apostrophe, your asterisk player,
Yeah.
Owen Heineke. Walk me through this situation one more time. Have you talked to the lawyer yourself? Have you asked what's going
Yeah.
on? How close are they to a deal?
Yeah, I'm actually in contact with the lawyer like as we speak. He told me that he told me to fuck off. So I was like, okay, yeah, my bad. I'll just leave you alone. No, look, Heineke's a intriguing prospect. He's not a high up. He's kind of like Aiden Fisher in some ways, where it's like he's just going to be kind of a role player. 6'2", 227 pounds. He's got some really good tape on him. I loved his tape versus Tennessee. I thought he made a couple really nice plays. Thought versus Texas, it was a little bit up and down, but generally speaking, like he is just somebody who's going to play a lot on special teams. He's a sound tackler. He gets downhill. His coverage is okay, but I think it is serviceable. I thought, generally speaking, he's just a quality rotational piece, and that's kind of why I like him as like this 13th player. There's some other guys. I'm not going to spoil, but there's a name that B. Ross really likes that I like as well, but he's just such a high variance player. I feel like Heineke, if he is in this class, I kind of know what he's going to be, which is going to be a guy that probably makes your roster and fills the need as a backup rotational piece, kind of in the same vein of a Danny Stutzman type of guy, Jalen Ford. Kind of looking at those two young linebackers in New Orleans. That's kind of what you get from Owen Heineke. Just really strong tackler. He gets through a gap sometimes. He'll put a pop on you. It's really fun when he's just able to shoot and run. But also former lacrosse player, by the way, too. So he's got a little bit of some, multi-sport background to him. But yeah, I just thought generally like fun prospect. Is he going to be in this class? So, we'll just have to wait for the lawyer to get back to me.
Man, Owen, join the club, man. We all want to go back to college. It was a good time, but at some point, got to fill in the LinkedIn, or for your case, going to the NFL. It's going to be great. Let's go now to our next player. Now we got the matches, okay? Previously, it was one-offs. We talked about Owen at 14 for Metro. Wasn't on Brandon's list. We talked about Jack Kelly at 15 for Brandon. Wasn't on Metro's list. But Keyshawn Elliott is 11 for Brandon and 13 for Metro. So I'm going to let, by rule, Brandon take this one away since he has him ranked higher. Brandon, Keyshawn Elliott, the floor is yours.
Yeah, like this dude, he sticks out on tape. He's big, fast. He plays with urgency. Like a lot of my rankings, guys, just to be very transparent, it's about guys I would want to play with. Like how I kind of stack guy, because I played with guys who I'm saying like he pisses me off every time we take a snap. Everything because he just doesn't do his job, or it's something that's coachable that he doesn't take the coaching. But so just to be very transparent, but Keyshawn Elliott, he's big, he's productive. He plays with heavy hands too. Again, I love that. I love the dudes who can play with their hands and play off blocks. Because again, I don't want to have to deal with guards. That's not my job. They don't put in my contract deal with 330-pound guards. Receivers, tight ends, backs. Not 330 guards. That's dude in front of me's job. So when a linebacker can do that at a efficient level, I really appreciate it. And he's one of those dudes who can do it. He's not the most explosive or the most athletic. He does have some range. It's not great. He can play sideline to sideline. I think he's better versus the run than the pass. A lot of guys in this class, which I noticed, is they struggle playing backwards. There are a handful of guys who can do it, but they're the smaller guys, kind of the niche guys where they can do it at a high level. But it is tougher for linebackers because they always have to play run first, and they're so close to the line of scrimmage. But I think he's one of those guys who's going to have to carve out a role on special teams first and then earn his way up. But I do think he has the upside and the ability to carve a role into being a first or second down player or a third down player, whatever the case may be, because he does have athletic ability and talent. It's just he hasn't put it all together yet. This is more of a projection of what I think he ultimately can be more than what he is, but he does have some real talent that you just kind of wonder if it's all going to connect when it needs to.
Of course. Great breakdown. Metro, question for you. What
Yes.
round, if you had to guess, does Keyshawn Elliott go in?
Ugh, man.
That's a good
Probably
question.
somewhere day 3. I would venture to say like probably later on day 3. I feel like there's gonna be some other guys who I personally don't love who are gonna be taken in front of them. Guys like Jay Barham, who kind of more of an outside linebacker. That's why he's not on my list. But
Yeah.
Harold Perkins Jr. I
Who goes
I
first?
think Harold Perkins will go first. And actually,
Really?
I don't know. See, I don't know. I actually, that's tough. I think if you were to ask the fans, they would say Harold Perkins. I think if you ask the teams, that's tough. They might say Keyshawn Elliott.
Yeah.
Harold Perkins' tape is.
It's it's just
I hate
not
to say it, it's not
it's
good.
not
It's just
good.
not.
It's not
It's
good.
really not. You hate to rip the Band-Aid off on him because he's got a ton of upside, and he really was a highly sought after player. But then the injuries piled up. He just doesn't look like a natural linebacker, but he's also too small to play off the edge. He's just a really weird football player,
He should be what Kyle Lewis is or isn't. Like
and yet he's
we
just
don't
not.
know yet, but he's not,
Yeah,
right?
not even
Like
close.
he doesn't do anything exceptionally well where you're like, oh, I'm gonna put him here. Whereas like Kyle Lewis is just kind of like, you know what? I'm gonna live with it, I'm gonna die with it, and I'm good with it. Harold Perkins is like, I won't touch this. Yeah, no. Yeah.
Yeah, it's a good conversation to have too, because I bet you we're going to see some comments who ask about Harold Perkins.
Yeah.
I just think he just doesn't have the instincts for the job.
He
There's
doesn't see the
so many
ball.
times where
Yeah,
he does
100%.
not see the ball. I mean,
He does
he
not.
gets chewed up by blockers way too easily. In coverage, he just is a lost man sometimes. And obviously, you kind of give him a bit of a I don't know a curve when you're grading him because he is a super highly touted guy. Played for LSU, has a little bit of some blitz upside to him. But as a pure linebacker, I mean,
He is
6'1",
not that.
220, he's undersized. Yeah, he's a hell of an athlete. But I don't care. It don't matter if you can run a 4.3 if you have the awareness that's some of the worst in this class.
Yeah.
It's just the truth. I'll
Yeah,
take the guy who's
100%.
6'2", 230 pounds, a little bit slower, that can see the field properly and can fill a gap
Yeah.
over a guy who just can't do that stuff, right?
Give me
So
Give me 4.6 with really good instincts, then 4.4 with average instincts.
yeah,
Because
it's
he's going to run 4.6 the whole game. I know that. I'm good with that. He's going to see the ball at an elite level, so I'm good with that. But yeah, Harold Perkins is too much of a gamble to me. Way too much
he
of a
is.
gamble.
Yeah, I watched this tape. He was one of the first people I watched, and I came away like, "Woof, I don't know what people are seeing with this one." He's kind of peeled behind the curtain. He's not inside my top 20.
I
To be honest with you,
Me either.
not in my top 20. I mean,
either.
there's a number of guys I'd rather have over him,
Yeah.
including Jack Kelly, including some of the guys you have in your second tier, who we'll get to in a second,
Yeah.
over him. And I constantly hear the Harold Perkins conversation, and I'm always like, man, I don't know
I
what you
don't
guys
see
are
it.
watching.
I
I
don't
see it
it.
at all.
Yeah.
Which sucks. Very talented player and ton of upside. Well, hopefully, I hope he can get there, but the LSU tape was not clean, in my opinion.
Yeah.
To put a bow on this, do you think, I'm going to ask you, B. Ross, because you've been in the NFL buildings, do you think that with a guy like Harold Perkins, is his agent sitting him down going, hey, man, this is what the league's telling us. You're going to live and die by being a special teams guy. You're going to make money that way for the rest of your life. Like, are they that clear with them when they're agents and they know the real situation? Or they're like, yeah, man, you could start at edge. Let's make you an edge player. Let's make it happen. Like, which way do the agents go? Are they realistic? Does it depend on the person? What do you
This
see?
depends on the agent. This
Gotta be
depends on the agent
delusional.
and the kid. Yeah. So
First round,
like,
man.
So like
Okay,
a lot
dude.
of it depends on the player, like what they can handle in terms of the truth. Where like some guys, you can give them the truth, and they can say, okay, I can carve out that role for 5-7 years, and I'm good with that, and like they're good with that career. And the other guys like, no, I'm better than that, and they're gonna fight it. So it varies, player to player, agent to agent, because some agents lie. They lie better than lawyers. I mean, and most of them are lawyers. That's the thing too. So it's just kind of like damned if you do, damned if you don't. They know how to make they know how to make poop look pretty.
The offseason isn't the break. The offseason is the season. While other fans check out, you're locked in, studying prospects, tracking free agency, and already thinking about your team's next move. That's who First and 10 was built for. First and 10 is your NFL offseason hub, a community of fans who don't just watch the draft, they live it. Want to run a full mock draft? We've got simulators for 2026, 2027, and 2028. 3 years of drafts, endless possibilities, because real fans think ahead. And when it comes to evaluating those prospects, that's where it gets real. Use our prospect evaluator to grade players, write your own scouting reports, and build out full evaluations, all saved to your profile. Your work, your grades, your scouting departments. From there, build your own custom big board. Stack the prospects exactly how you see them, backed by the evaluations you put in. No recycled rankings from someone else, just your film study, your grades, your board. Then, take it even further. The trade calculator lets you stress test every deal before you make it, and the tier list creator, perfect for starting debates your group chat can never settle. But here's what makes First and 10 different. We're more than a tool set, we're a community. We partner with NFL offseason content creators, the people breaking down film at midnight, dropping sleeper picks before the masses catch on, and keeping the offseason alive year-round. If you create content about the draft or free agency, this is your home, and if you're a fan who can't get enough of it, this is yours too. First and 10, the offseason starts here.
I've never heard that shit in my life. There you go. Yeah. There you go. Thank you for the inside analysis, sir. Let's jump now to a linebacker who is anything but the biggest athlete on the field. Torian York out of Texas A&M. We have Metro ranking him higher. He's got him at 12, but Brandon's got him at 14. So, Metro, the floor is yours. Walk us through Torian York.
I will start this off. I pray he is a Tennessee Titan. If there is a coach out there that can turn this guy into a star, it is Robert Saleh. Robert Saleh has done this before with Quincy Williams. Yep. And Quincy, when Robert Saleh was gone, didn't look like the same guy. So he's got to go to the right situation. He's an undersized player, 5'11", 226. Yep. He's not a great athlete, which is like a double whammy, being a poor athlete and undersized. I mean, that's a horrific duo right there. But he's got some of the best instincts in this class. I mean, man, if you pair Harold Perkins and Torian York together, I mean, they might make for a pretty damn good player. He sees the field so well. He's always in the right spot. It's just his body will not allow him to be a star or a great player because he is 5'11". Nothing wrong with being a shorter guy, but in the NFL it matters, right? If you're a 5'11" linebacker, it's gonna be tough as hell to see over these 6'4" pass rushers, 6'5", 6'6" interior defensive linemen, and all those offensive linemen who are massive. It's the same conversation with like Kyler Murray, Bryce Young, Drew Brees. How are you going to see over your offensive lineman? Well, imagine that for a linebacker now, where everything is going so fast and you have to react. And he does a really good job still of overcoming some of that stuff. He's a pretty sound tackler. In coverage, he's okay. Team leader, the team loves this guy. Super competitive, high motor. He's always in the right place at the right time. And so it's like I can kind of just put him in the right system that will give him a role and will put the pieces around him that need to be around him. Somebody who has more athleticism, somebody who can make up for his lack of size. I think there can definitely be something there because he is a really good football player, but it is very difficult for me to just gloss over his physical and athletic limitations because they're very real. And unfortunately, he plays a position where you're that undersized, it can come back to bite you. If you could be a 5'11" receiver and be totally fine. I mean, you could be a 5'11" running back and be totally fine. Linebacker, it's a bit more tough. We've seen a couple instances of it, and I'm not saying he can't make it, but being slower and smaller, not a great duo. So, but still, some of the best instincts in this class, and I think he can. I think he'll carve a role for himself in the NFL somehow. I trust his abilities to get there. I mean, he was a really good player at a good program in Texas A&M. So, yeah, we'll see.
Brandon, you have anything?
No, I mean, I put him at 14 because he's small. Like, no more, no less. Like, I put him because, like, because this tape is actually pretty good. Like when you turn on the tape, if you took out all the measurables, he can play really good football. He's instinctive. He sees the game very clearly. To Metro's point, when those dudes in front of him get bigger and bigger, and it's just like I just like, and when he has to deal with 320-pound guards, 315-pound guards on a consistent basis, like people think that's what he sees in the SEC all the time. That's not the case. In the NFL, that is the case. So it's just like I don't know how he's going to handle that, and like he's not exceptional athletically either, to where he's like where he can hang his head on coverage or hang his head on anything. I just it's a lot of question marks to his game, but I do know that he sees the ball well and he's instinctive. So I do love that. That's why I couldn't leave him off. But 5'11", like that makes life hard. Like being on like you got to be really special to overcome what God gave you.
I was trying to find a comp, and it came to me pretty easy, but then I did some deeper research, and I was like, that's just wrong. Malcolm Rodriguez, I thought wasn't horrible, but Malcolm could run is the thing. Malcolm ran a
fast.
Yeah, he ran a 4.52, man, and he jumped also 40 inches. And yeah, so it's potatoes and tomatoes. It's not quite the same thing, but like y'all said, he's a great player, man. It's just we can only 5'11's easy when you are selling insurance. It's not that easy when you're a linebacker, like Metro said. So he's. I think he's going to be just fine. I think he's going to be on a roster. I'm just.
I'm sorry.
This guy.
I'm good.
Cade,
that is hilarious.
Cade wants touring York going door to door. What are we doing here,
bro?
That is not what I said. That's not what I said. I said it's easier.
State Farm.
I said it's easier.
Like a good neighbor. What are we doing?
Like York's going to be just fine in the league, man. But we can all agree 5'11 is tough in the NFL. Wishing the best for him. He's going to do great, and he's going to be drafted by Robert Saleh and be a starter. Let's go now to our next player. Let's jump to let's go to Caleb, man. We got Metro ranking him at 11 and Brandon ranking him at 13. Metro, floor is yours, man.
Yeah, I'll let B-Ross speak about him as well. But this is just somebody who you want getting downhill, dude. He is a freaky athlete. What do you run? He ran a 4.47, 159, 10-yard split, 40-inch vert, 10-foot 4-inch broad, 4.41, 20-yard split, 130 tackles this year. I think I read somewhere that he's played the most snaps in the Big 12 or something like that. So a very productive player, played a lot of snaps. He is a really good sideline-to-sideline speed guy. Coverage is not his forte. He's still improving there. I think instincts right now are a little bit up and down. But I felt like...
Just to jump in, this is Caleb Alarms or at a TCU. We just didn't mention that. Keep cooking, Metro.
Well, that we did. I don't remember. But yeah, Caleb's... Yeah. You watch his tape. Sorry, you cut me off. You confused me. Sorry, his tape... No, you're good. His tape's impressive, especially when he gets downhill and he moves around. Like legitimate sideline to sideline speed. You're not gonna really ask him a ton to do much in coverage. That's just not really his game. I think he's not a 3-down linebacker. He's somebody who you want just being a knife in the run game, right? Shoot through gaps, make plays. When he trusts his keys, he can make real plays out there. I mean, he's a good ball player that I think has some serious upside. I consider him for my top 10. And he's at my number 11, so he's like right there. He was really close to making it. There's just too many plays on tape where it's like you can just tell that things are going a little too fast or his eyes are just not in the right place at the right time. But when he puts it all together, man, he can make some magic out there. So I liked him a ton. I think his tape is pretty impressive. I just think he has a level to his game that he's not quite yet there. And I think if he keeps growing and developing, he could be a really good pro if he puts it together.
Let's go. Thank you, sir. Sorry I interrupted. Just want to clarify. And then, Brandon, do you have anything to say about this player? Because you have him ranked just a little bit lower at about 13.
I have him at 13? Mm-hmm. Yeah, like he's where I had an issue with him was the fact that he would be late at times. Whereas good and as explosive as he is off the spot, it doesn't mean anything if you can't find the ball. You know what I mean? But to Metro's point, he has some real upside. Like, he just, to me, if he spends 2 years as a backup, I can see this dude being a stud linebacker. Like, I'm talking about overplaying his value for sure because he has size, he has length, he has speed. He has all the traits to be better than what he is, but it's something in between the ears where if he sees uh, jet motion this way, pulls going the other way, he's stopping his feet. He's completely frozen to where teams will take advantage of that. So I think he's a year or two out, but you do see a good football player when he can just run downhill and trigger. When like he can play fast and free, he is dangerous to deal with. So I'm interested to see again, just like where these guys go for every single guy matters. Outside of probably one guy, where these guys go matter more than anything because they have to be put in the right situations to have a chance to win.
You are 1,000% correct. It's all about landing spot. It's all about fit. It's how they roll into the culture. All right, folks, it's time for tier 2. Let's rip the Band-Aid. Let's have Brandon lead this one, then Metro follow.
First at 10, we have Carson with the K, Sherrar, Justin Jefferson, the linebacker from Alabama. 8, Josiah Trotter. 7, Deontay Lawson. And 6, Kyle Lewis.
Yeah, for me at 10, I got Bryce Betcher. 9, Deontay Lawson. 8, Kyle Lewis. 7, Jacob Rodriguez. And 6, Josiah Trotter.
Thank you, gentlemen. Folks, we got some outliers. We do. Oh, my goodness. We got Carson Sherrar and also Justin Jefferson. We got to address them. Let's have Brandon kick this off with Carson first out of Iowa. Take the floor.
Yeah. So this goes back to me to the corner video where I've missed on these guys before. I've missed on Iowa linebackers because I'm like, oh no, he's okay. No, dude's a stud because Iowa has a thing with linebackers and D linemen. They get them right. Linebackers and tight ends as well. They just do it right, and then in the front seven, he's instinctive. He's a better athlete than anyone expected. He ran. I want to say he ran 4.55, 4.56. He jumped 40 inches. Like, shocked the hell out of me, to say the least. But to me, when you're talking about someone who can wear the green dot and you can get it for good value, Carson is that kind of guy. I think he's a early
4, 5,
day
6.
3. There we go. He's an early day 3 kind of guy who can wear the green dot. He's instinctive. He's smart. He does have his physical limitations when playing out of space at times versus more supreme athletes, but most linebackers do. That's just the nature of the game. Backs are better than backers nowadays. But he's someone who also hasn't played a lot of football. He was a 1-year starter, but I was also a place where underclassmen don't play, so it's kind of a thing there. So, but I think he's fast enough. He's strong. He's physical. He's smart. I don't see too many holes in his game in terms of me like concerned about him lining up at the next level and having success. I think more of his tape tells me that he's going to be a good player, even though he does have some limitations, than him not being good. I think he's like, if he's your third linebacker, great. If he's your 2, you're okay with it, but you might want to get better. Like, that's where I like kind of see him with like limited upside. I don't know if he's like, to me, he's hitting his head on the ceiling right now, but I'm okay with that because I know what I'm getting.
Brandon, just to understand, when I hear green dot, I think, okay, cool. He can command the defense, call the plays. I get that. But how rare is that? Like, how many green dot guys are in this class of 2026 if you had to put a number to it?
1, 2, 4, maybe 5, maybe. Like,
That just shows the rarity.
Like, the green dot isn't just about calling the plays. You have to deal with grown men cussing you out because of the play call. Like, that's a whole thing. It's a whole thing to like be on. It's like fresh out of a TV timeout, and you hear the call, and you just hear 2 6'5", 300-pound D linemen. Why are you running this and run? Whoa! I'm just a messenger. So
Relaying the message, man.
listen, it is a real thing. Or it's a vet at corner or at safety or the other backer who's like, no, we're not doing that. We're running this. And you're like, well, I get paid to just tell y'all what to do. He said run this. If you say run this, then I'm going to give a signal and tell them that, like, it takes a real leader of men to have that green dot on. It is not a lot. It is not an easy task because coaches suck at giving play calls on time. Let's put that out there.
Mm-hmm.
You ever seen the defense just like late? Like, why are they so late? Because the coach is up there arguing about the play call. And dude on the green dot hears the whole conversation between the head coach and the DC. He hears it all. Oh, you stupid mother, and all of it. Like, it's real. It's real conversation going on. And it's like having voices in your head that you can't tell to shut up. That's what it sounds like. So I would say in this class, I think it's 4, maybe 5 guys. I think everybody else has to be off the green dot for at least 3 or 4 years. Easily. Just because it's so tough to deal with the people in the huddle. Not even the coaches. It's the guys in the huddle. Because we could be some buttholes. I was one of them. 100%. 100%.
Hey,
I'm not right.
I appreciate it. And that just shows the kind of urgency some of these teams will have if they need a green dot guy. Everyone's has one right now at the moment, but if they want another one in the rotation or a new one, there's only 5 in this class, so choose wisely. Next, let's go to Justin Jefferson real quick, another one of your outliers, and we'll bounce it back to Metro. And not Justin Jefferson, the wide receiver. This is the Bama linebacker. Oh, you pointing? You pointing?
No, I'm catching the football. Justin Jefferson, man.
Oh, my God. This dude.
Take it away, Brandon. That was funny.
Yeah, so he's on the smaller side. He's 6 feet. I think he weighed in 223 at the combine. But I think his ability to play solid on the sideline, like, he's one of the green dot guys. The way he commands the defense, he gets guys in place. To me, he made Lawson better beside him when they did play side by side. Deontay Lawson played significantly better when he was able to play beside Justin Jefferson. Like, he looked like a better stacked linebacker to me. But you're talking about the guy who, in spite of his size, he knows how to play with his hands. He's a good slipper of blocks. Like, he knows how to play in spite of his physical limitations. That's why I like him. Because some guys don't know they're small. As crazy as that sounds, they don't know that they're undersized or lack length or lack strength at the point of attack. Justin Jefferson knows and understands it, and he plays in spite of it, and he makes plays in spite of it. He's not a big playmaker like some of the other guys we'll talk about who I have ahead of him, but he makes the plays he's supposed to make. And as crazy as that sounds, people, that's like the golden rule of defense. Make the plays you're supposed to make. You'll be all pro. You'll be a serviceable. You'll play 5-6 years in the NFL. You'll be all pro depending on your size. Like, just make the plays you're supposed to make. Justin Jefferson does that at a good clip, and that's why I like him in this spot. Again, like, he has his limitations. He lacks size. I think he has good speed. Like, he ran 4.57. I didn't think he would run that, honestly. So I was shocked by that. But it's his ability to see the ball, get downhill, and play through bigger bodies on a consistent basis, in spite of the fact that he has shorter arms. He only has like 30-inch arms, 31 3/4. Like, he has shorter arms. He's not a big man, but he plays bigger than what he is. It gives him a chance to have success down in and down out. And in the pass game, that's why I really love him, because he plays with like a radar behind his head. Like, he understands and feels everything behind him, and that's so rare for linebackers. Like, that's not common. I play with a lot of dudes. I've scouted a lot of guys who can feel routes behind them and understand spacing is golden. He's one of those guys who like truly get it and understand how routes are distributed, and he conquers them. So, in spite of his physical limitations with his feet and his size, he makes plays on the ball, and he makes the plays he's supposed to make. So I put him right in the spot where it's kind of like, I can't put him lower because you make all the plays you're supposed to make. How can I knock you for that?
Of course. It sounds like Justin Jefferson has a radar in pass defense, which is extremely rare. Then also could be a green dot guy. He would be sought after in day 3. All right, it's time to go back to Metro. Metro's been quiet for long enough, and we're going to one of his favorite gems in this class, mentioned in our previous video or later. Spoiler, I guess we'll find out. Bryce Betcher, you have here at 10. Walk me through it, man. I want to hear about this player. I know you love him.
Did B-Rush didn't talk about him?
He has him at 12.
I have him at 12. Yeah.
Oh, I thought you talked about him already. No, Bryce. Yeah, we just recorded a Hidden Gems video. Might be out. Might be our next video. Stay tuned. But Bryce Betcher, there's a lot to like about his game. Former baseball player, transitioned over to play more football. He's a bit undersized, 6'1", 233. He's got shorter arms, arm length of 30 3/4. It really shows up on tape. He's not going to be able to get off blocks consistently. He's not the greatest athlete in the world. He's a little bit older. Physical athletic profiles aren't bad, but aren't great. And then also throw on the little age aspect to it as well. So there's a lot of little caveats to his game you have to be okay with. But I just think he does a lot of things very well. I think in coverage he's really sharp. I think he sees the field well. I think he's got good ball skills. They used him on special teams in a lot of different ways. I think that'll also contribute to his profile to the NFL. I think he'll be used in special teams over there. He's a good mover, fluid mover. I wouldn't say he's got sideline to sideline speed, but he's fast enough to hold up. He's going to struggle against twitchy. If he gets a matchup versus a really twitched up tight end, he's probably going to lose that matchup more often than win it. But he just always seems to be in the right place. He's constantly making plays out there. And, Oregon used him in a variety of ways. And I just thought, when it's a passing down, he can survive out there. And against the run, he can also hold his own when he sees things right. And if you're a defense that has some really strong defensive linemen that can hold up blocks and allow him to flow over the top, allow him to shoot gaps, allow him to play freely back there, I think he'll find a ton of success. And I don't know if he'll be a starter, but be like a rotational piece. Probably get around 200, 300 snaps a year. A lot of it being on special teams. I think he can play a lot in this league, and he's just a very technically sound player that I'm willing to put a little bet on that he's going to be a better prospect than some of these other guys. Like Justin Jefferson, I liked him a little bit too. He's just off my top 15, but he's a much bigger projection for somebody who's really short, undersized, good in coverage, but I don't know how he's going to translate to being a run defender. I'm willing to bet a little bit more on Betcher to translate his game from Oregon to the NFL, and I wouldn't be afraid taking him like round 4 or 5.
Thank you for the elite breakdown. I want to go back to another Bama linebacker. We got Deontay Lawson. Oh, you guys know how I feel about Deontay too. We got Brandon ranking him at 7, Metro ranking him at 9. Honestly, pretty close back to back, essentially. Brandon, you just talked about the Bama backer, Justin Jefferson. What about this time? Not the green dot guy, but Deontay Lawson.
Yeah, he's what your off-ball backer should be. He's tall, he's big, he's fast. I don't know if he knows what he's looking at, but if he does, he is good. He's really good. Even when he's wrong or he's kind of confused, if he plays fast, it's such beautiful football because he has really good feet. He's strong. To me, he pans out to be a Sam linebacker in a 4-3 with the ability to rush the passer as well. Or you say we're going to take him and turn him into a will backer and put a real green dot guy beside him and say, okay, I'm going to control the defense and you just stay untouched and stay free and run and chase, which I think he can do at a high level because he's tall, long, athletic. I don't think he sees it well. I think he's late seeing it at time. That's why I said Justin Jefferson was the key to him being better because Jefferson got him situated, took on things that he didn't have to do, but it made Lawson a better player on tape time and time again. I think he has range in zone coverage. He can rush the passer. He's a good blitzer. He has more upside than Jefferson for sure because the athlete is better. But again, it's just his eyes at times, his eyes and instincts, just him feeling schemes in terms of blocking schemes, double teams, pullers. He can be late to see it at times, and even though he's a great athlete, that doesn't always help you in the run game because things happen so quickly and guys get up on you on the second level so fast. So I I really like the player just because I think he has a lot of upside. Because if he fails an inside linebacker, I think he'd be a hell of an edge rusher. I think he'd be a good third, fourth rotational edge rusher. When I stack guys, I'm looking like big picture over the course of 5-7 years. Like if he's in the league in 5 years, what ultimately is he going to be? I think he still has a role. I don't think there's a universe where he's not playing some sort of role for your team and for your defense. But as an inside linebacker, he has more work to do in between the ears than he does physically, which I think is coachable. But with that being said, if all that fails, he can go get the quarterback. Like he has the traits and skill set to do it. But that again would be another projection.
My concern with Deontay Lawson, he's not a great tackler. He's missed 50 tackles over the course of 5 years. This year he missed 17. That's he has a 14.5%
like 2.5 a game.
Yeah, he basically is missing about a tackle a game. So it's not ideal. He's got to clean that up, just point blank simple. He's had some injuries as well that also is just kind of adds to it. I think in coverage he's a little bit flawed as well, but you're not kidding though. I mean, legitimate side to sideline, good athlete, plays downhill. I know Cade likes him a lot. I don't know if Cade, if you want to gas him up real quick, because I know it's your guy, but I think he can play, man. I think he's pretty good.
No, I'd love to. He, out of all these guys on the list, feels like the first time I feel like someone has a superpower out of these linebackers. We got plenty of linebackers left, but out of all these guys, I don't know, man. He moves different. There's nobody with the elusiveness and agility that Deontay Lawson has. O-linemen just can't get their hands on him. And like you mentioned earlier, Brandon, is it all together? No, he misses some reads. I understand that. But when he's playing football and he's just reacting, I think he's one of the best athletes on the field, which I find works more often than not. The one thing you mentioned, Metro, we can't live with missing that many tackles. That's got to be cleaned up regardless. But if you're getting to the ball that many times, you're clearly not the problem of the defense. Do y'all have anything to cap off this man, Deontay Lawson?
Nope.
Cool. Let's jump to Josiah Trotter from... Oh, yeah. Let's go. Mizzou, I believe. And we're going to have Metro walk through this. He's got him at 6. Brandon's got him at 8. So, by law, we're going to have Josiah Trotter be talked about with Metro.
I've loved Josiah Trotter the second I watched his tape. He's not a perfect prospect. Let's just be honest about him. He is, I'll call it, not great in coverage right now. He's a complete work in progress. He's got shorter arms. His arm length is... I guess 32 and 1/4 is actually bigger than I thought. But on tape, I think the arm length does show up a little bit. But he is a rocket, man. You let this guy just get downhill and cause havoc, and he does so. And that's, to me, what I find a little bit more valuable. Obviously, you got to be useful on both, as a coverage guy and a run defender. But I think he's also a younger player, like a true redshirt sophomore. So he's got a ton of room to grow. He has to get better in coverage. Like, that's the one thing really slowing him down. And it's the one thing that does kind of give me pause on him, because we have seen guys kind of like this where they're really good run defenders in college, but they're not good in coverage. And then they get to the NFL, and it's like, yeah, they're useful enough in run defense, but they're a complete liability in coverage to where they don't really, they don't make it like Devin White, for example, was kind of like that, right? Good run defender, not good in coverage. Same sort of ordeal here. But man, he just gets downhill. He puts a pop on people. He's got these strong legs that anchor well. He can stack and shed. He can, dip through blocks. Just some of the stuff he does in the run defense is just awesome. And he'll put offensive linemen on their ass. He'll stonewall fullbacks. Tight ends can't stand this guy. I mean, he's a complete menace in the run game. Exactly. Yeah.
He folded the hell out of somebody first, man.
Yes. He folds a lot of people. He folds a lot of people. It's just he's a younger player who has had, I think he had an injury in 2023, I think it was. I don't remember what it was, but I think he had an injury then. And he's got to be better in coverage. He just has to be a lot better in coverage. It's, he just doesn't have the awareness, the instincts, the feel in zone. He doesn't know how to carry routes in man. He's got to get better at it. Put this guy in the right system, put this guy with the right coaching staff, and hopefully he can blossom, because I think he is a super talented player that if he was just an ounce better in coverage, he'd easily be in my top 5 because I think he's so
No
good as a
doubt.
run defender.
No
But
doubt.
he has to improve his coverage ability because it's just not there right now.
Thank you for that elite breakdown, sir. Now, let's make one more big pivot. We got Kyle Lewis out of Pittsburgh, one of the most sought out and talked about prospects of this offseason, especially in the draft process. And at the Senior Bowl, he was a well known name. Brandon has him at 6, Metro has him at 8. So almost the reverse, Josiah Trotter. Brandon, the floor is yours. Talk to us about Kyle Lewis.
Yeah. He's a tough eval because I don't know where teams see him because someone's going to think he can play safety. And I'm not one of those people. I don't see it. Because just football 101, you go, you know, from corner to safety, safety to backer. Nobody moves from backer to safety and has success. Sonny Styles moved from safety to backer. Top 5 pick probably. Like that's not the move isn't to move to a harder position further away from the ball versus better competition. But with that being said, his size, he's the same size as Nakobe Dean. They are match for match. He actually has longer arms. So I think he can do it. But you're talking about a dude who he can blitz. He's good in coverage. He has to get better at the point of attack in terms of stacking and shocking blocks and shedding blocks. But he knows how to win in spite of his size at times. He will get covered up, but I just like. I mean, when I say I love the guy because he just makes plays. No matter where you put him, how you use him, he's always around the ball. He's always finding ways to get the ball out, like forced fumbles, sacks, tackles for a loss. Like he's impacting the game. And guys like that who I've scouted in the past have always turned out to be good pros. It's hard to coach production. Just guys who just get the ball. Like that's hard to coach because you either got it or you don't, honestly. That's not a thing that gets better over time. And Kyle Lewis is ball hungry. He's fast. He's quick. So what he lacks in size and stature, I think he makes up for in the fact that he knows how to get the ball back. But I don't see safety. Like I hear all these so-called experts who've never worked in the NFL, but I won't go there. That's a whole nother story. For our Patreon group, I have a whole story time for y'all. But talking about he's a safety, there are like how many 220-pound safeties are there in the NFL right now? Like that's not a thing anymore. This was 10 years ago when I played. Maybe he has a chance of making that transition, but that's not the thing to do. He's going to be a will backer. He's going to be a good will backer for a team that plays in a 4-3. Like guy you can keep clean. He's going to play in front of 2 big D linemen with big asses in front of them and keep them clean. That's their job. Keep Kyle clean. That's gonna be their only job. You'll make a lot of money. You keep him clean. That's gonna be their job. I'm telling you, like a kid like Kay McDonald, Kyle Lewis, match made in heaven.
Oh, yeah,
match made in heaven.
100%.
So I can see Kyle going to a team who sees what he is and are good with that and saying, Tennessee Titans. To your point, Tennessee. Tennessee.
Yep.
Hey, keep him clean or make the play. That's what you tell Jeffrey Simmons because he's Jeffrey Simmons. Everybody else, keep him clean. But, keep him clean or make the play. So, yeah, I'm a big fan of Kyle Lewis. Like, he doesn't have any, too many holes in his game outside of the things that God gave him. He sees it well. He plays fast. He plays with urgency. He's physical. He's somewhat of an inconsistent tackler, just in terms of getting the ball down quickly. But I mean, I don't have too many holes to pick. I like the player. I just think it. He just has to go somewhere who values what he does well, which is blitz and cover.
I mean, I'm fired up. If you guys don't want Kyle Lewis, I don't know what you're doing. Get out. Metro, between you and I, pretend B. Ross didn't say a single thing, and it's just you and I. Where does he get drafted? Be honest with me. He's a unique player, and he could play. He could produce. But where does he get drafted? How many teams are going to, make this mesh work?
That's tough. I've loved Kyle Lewis for a while.
Yes, you have.
I've been kind of skeptical on where he goes because he is an undersized linebacker, hybrid guy. I don't think he's a safety at all. I think he could play a little nickel here and there.
Yeah.
The earliest is 50. The latest will be around late round 3 to me. I think he'll make it between 50 to like 75. I think that's where he's going to go.
It's a great range.
That's a good
What
spot.
do you think, Brandon? Back to you. He set the
That's a
bar.
good spot. Yeah. Now that's spot on. I don't know what team he goes to though. That's what I don't know.
That is a good question. Maybe like the Chargers. I could see him kind of being a fit there.
They have taken those smaller linebackers before.
Yeah, maybe. Maybe well, actually, if the Giants take Sonny Styles, Tremaine Edmonds, and then Kyle Lewis, that could be nasty.
That'd be fun.
That'd be a good 3.
But I mean, there's a lot of teams. Los Angeles Rams would love to have this guy. I mean, that might be the fit right there. That might be that type of guy. I mean,
that'd be a really good fit.
I'll say either Los Angeles team.
Good stuff.
What about the Panthers?
Ooh, well, they do have Devin
they
Lloyd,
signed
who's
Devin
really good
Lloyd.
at coverage.
Right.
Yeah, but I could see it.
That could work.
I'm just thinking teams who kind of like just take good players and say, let's just put them on the field and we'll figure the rest out later.
I could see it.
I would love to see him in Houston too. But that's just me.
That's a good spot. Let's see if Kyle goes to Houston. Folks, now it's time for the top 5. No more messing around. This is a really good top cream of the crop linebacker class, and I want to hear these top 5 back-to-back right now. Metro, you start. Brandon, you follow.
Number 5, I got C.J. Allen. 4, I got Anthony Hill. 3, Jake Gaudet. 2, Arvell Reese. And number 1, Sonny Styles.
5, I have Jacob Rodriguez. 4, Jake Gaudet. 3, Anthony Hill. 2, C.J. Allen. 1, Sonny Styles.
Folks, I don't know if you heard that. Jacob Rodriguez mentioned at 5th for Brandon, and he's right at 7 for Metro, just right outside on the cusp in Tier 2. Brandon, why did Jacob Rodriguez out of Texas Tech crack the top 5 for you, and why do you think he's going to go this high in the NFL draft?
Because of what I said earlier. He gets the ball. He is a ball-seeking missile. Like, I don't know how he does it. I don't know. Like, he's living his life right. Like, when I say someone who's living, I don't know what he believes in. I don't know his religion, his faith. He's living right. Because the ball finds him in every aspect. Fumble recoveries, tips, interceptions. Like, he's always just around. It seems like the quarterback just looks like, oh, this guy's open, but I'm going to throw it to Jacob. Like, that's how it looks to me on tape sometimes. And I just think that's such, I don't think guys who know how to get the ball ever lose that. That's not, like, from my history of playing and scouting. I've never seen a guy who got a lot of turnovers in college come to NFL and not do the same thing or something similar. So that's why that's literally the only reason I have him at 5. He lacks some things physically in terms of range and speed, but he makes up for it because he's highly instinctive. He plays with good eyes. To me, he's a perfect Detroit Lion. That's where I think Dan Campbell, I like him, Jack Campbell, Jacob, Malcolm Rodriguez. Like, I think that's such a different group, but it works together because they all do so many different things well that it makes the whole group better. But I think Jacob is a dude. He can blitz. He's decent in coverage. He's nothing special because he does have some physical limitations. But when you're talking about just a dude who can just play football, like you just put grass down in a football, I want him on my team because he just played like he just plays ball. Like, I don't know, like I would have a hard time presenting him to a GM because I would just say turn on the tape. Like, his tape is like, bro, his tape is good. Oh, you want to see him have a 20 tackle game? He has that. He has a game with an interception and a pick and a pick 6. Or a fumble recovery or a sack cost fumble. Like, it's not too much he hasn't done or can't do physically. It's just a matter of flavor. I think he's a green dot guy. With that being said, I think he's a guy who can call the defense. He can get guys lined up. I think he can sacrifice himself to make guys around him better, while also playing in front of, like this year, we look at that Texas Tech defense. He was a guy who played in front of some studs up front, but he made them better. He made the big D tackle, Lee Hunter. He made him better because he played downhill so fast, so effectively. So I didn't want to put him this high. That's the crazy part. I did not. But every time I'm sitting there like, nah, I'm putting him like at first I put him like 8 or 7. I'm like, nah, I'm putting him here. I'm like, damn, he made another play on the ball. Another play on the ball. Force fumble, sack, tackle for a loss. Like, Jesus. Okay. So at some point, I just couldn't deny the fact that as much as I don't want to put him up here because he is limited as an athlete, like when you look at the other 4 or 5 guys in this list, he's nowhere near the athlete. But if you look at the ball production, and that's what matters is the ball. He's probably one of the best. So I think 5 was just like a safe shelf for me to put him, but he's a hell of I love watching him play. Like, you talk about a dude who probably should have been top 3 Heisman vote getter. Like, that's hard to do at linebacker.
I mean, you talk about just good overall football players. Jacob's in the top 20 conversation this entire class. All he did was make plays on the ball last year, so completely valid ranking. I'm curious to see where he lands in the right system. He could be a flourish player for a long time to come. It's time to jump. We're going to Jake Galday out of Cincinnati. Just a Ford Raptor on wheels, man. This guy's 6'4", too big to be in those cleats and can fly down the field. We have Metro ranking him at 3. Brandon has him at right below that at about 4. So by rule Metro, the floor is yours.
Yeah, I'm kind of taking a swing with this guy because Cincinnati used him kind of weird. They played him a lot outside in the kind of a nickel role. So not a ton of snaps inside the box, but I do think he can play inside the box at the NFL level. Big frame, 6'4", 239. Really solid in coverage. I think he's got a good combination of size. He's not the fastest guy, right, a 4.62, but I think that's plenty fine for him. He's a good athlete. He jumps well. He moves well. Had a 39-inch vert. That length, the size to him, I think it all kind of pairs up nicely. He covers ground really well against, tight ends and some slot receivers. He's got good enough change of direction. There's some tape out there where he gets downhill. He could be really physical, setting the edge, getting after the, shooting gaps here and there. I do think he's better in man than zone. I think in zone sometimes he can just kind of be a tick slow, but I think it is good enough right now, and I think he can definitely get there. He's got to put it together if he's going to be, because I don't really know what his role is going to be at the NFL, right? Is he a Mike? Is he a Sam? Is he a Will? I don't know, right? Just because Cincinnati used him just a ton in the nickel, and I just didn't quite understand what they were doing with him there. So it'll be interesting to see what his role is, but I just think he's somebody who I'm willing to take a bet on. I mean, he had such good tape for somebody who played a really weird role, and you just kind of take what you saw there and just say, okay, how do I think that can translate over to one of these linebacker spots? And depending on the team, it's going to be one of those things where it's like, if a certain team takes him and I don't like the team and I don't think the fit's great, I'm probably not going to love the pick. I'll be like, It's kind of like Nicky Monwari in some ways, where like Nicky Monwari, I don't know where he's going to go. It's like when he went to Seattle, I was like, yeah. All pro. He's going to be good. He'll be really good. Yeah. It's the same thing with Jake Galday, right? If he goes to Buffalo, I'm like, yeah, I can see that. But if he goes to I'll take a stab at my own team, the Dallas Cowboys. I might question a little bit. I might be like, okay, what are we doing here? So I think it all depends on what team he goes to and what they're going to do with them, because I think the town is just flooded with this guy. I think he's strong. I think he's physical. I think he's a sound tackler. I think he's solid enough in coverage. I just think there's a lot to his game that's really good. I'm just kind of like, let's see what team he ends up going to, and then we'll kind of go from there. And so, yeah, I'm intrigued, though. I think he's a good prospect, and I like him more than a lot of other guys. So that's why he's my third-ranked linebacker.
B. Russ got anything at all?
Nah, I mean, honestly, Metro hit it on the head. To me, they used him in a weird way because he'll line up on the edge. He'll line up at the nickel position. He'll play stack. I'm just kind of like, and it's hard to get a feel for like what he really is. Um, Honestly though, I think he's going to end up being a pretty good linebacker, because he plays downhill, he plays with physicality, he sees the game well, and because you don't like you can hide him in coverage a little bit more. Because that's not the strength of his game. Like the strength of his game is him just being able to play downhill and play through people and like going to like attack. When he can play on attack mode and not be hesitant, like you see all that 6'4", 240 come out and like you see a dangerous player to me. Um, but yeah, like he was just using a array of ways that really to me limited like his like projection. Like he stole everything, but he didn't necessarily always do everything well, which kind of, to me always like kind of hurt him a little bit. But he's a damn good football player. The size, damn good football player.
Damn good. Metro, thank you for the badass breakdown. And now we're in the top three. We got some really good players here. Anthony Hill Jr. out of Texas. Folks, Brandon has him at 3. Metro has him at 4. They're both big Texas fans, so I know they both think highly of this guy. So, Brandon, opening the floor to you. Walk us through his game.
Yeah, I saw this kid get better and better from the day he stepped on campus. Like you're talking about someone who struggled seeing the ball, playing, playing with the correct reads and odds and things like that, to someone who had it kind of mastered by the time he left college. Um, I think he plays very quick off the ball. He's explosive off the ball. He has really good range and speed to play side on the sideline. He can play downhill. He got significantly better using his hands. Again, that's a big thing for me. God gave you hand for two reasons. One of them to please yourself. One is to keep people off you. So use your hands for the proper reasons. And I like linebackers who do that. Use your hands to get people off you. I don't care if you please yourself or not. That's on you. But with that being said, like his instincts and things like that got better. So to me, I don't even think he's going to be as good as he's going to be until probably like 2 or 3 years down the line when he has like a ton of reps of doing it and seeing it all over again. Because to me, that's when he kind of like really took off once he got in the rhythm of like failing but he wasn't the guy to not to make the same mistake twice, which I always appreciate about him. He if he loses a rep, if he gets beat, it's going to be in a completely different way, which I can always respect. But what I really love about him is his trigger downhill. Like when he sees it, he is a heat-seeking missile. He's quick. He's explosive. Where I would want to see him improve is like he's not the strongest of players in terms of taking on tackles or blocks. Like I wish he played with more oomph because I know he has it. Like I know his strength numbers. His strength numbers are really good and impressive, but they don't always correlate to what you see on the field. And then you're talking about a guy who also can rush the passer. He can blitz. He has to get better in man coverage because he has the physical tools to do it, to like cover backs and tight ends. But his eyes and hands can be all out of sync at times. But to me, this dude is a mid-year starter who you just deal with the bumps and bruises, and then you let him ride out. Like to me, he's very comparable to Darius Leonard. Very comparable to Darius Leonard when he came out of South Carolina State, because they were. I mean, granted, Anthony Hill is bigger, so he should have a little bit more success. But Darius Leonard was a guy who was like very similar builds and just skill set. So I could see him having success midway through his first year, early in second year, and taking off from there. But hell of a player, and he's a Longhorn, baby. So what are we talking about? He was always.
I don't know, man. I keep hearing people call him Kenneth Murray 2.0.
God no. God.
Like
Kenneth
I
Murray
never
didn't cover
that.
anybody in college. He just dropped in space and ran. I just put that out.
Yeah.
Kenneth
Murray also has the. No, I'm not gonna be mean here, but he doesn't have the awareness of Anthony Hill. Anthony Hill sees the field very well.
Yes.
He triggers downhill, and I agree with you. He could definitely benefit from being a little bit stronger. Stacking and shedding a little bit more effectively. But I thought Texas used him honestly poorly in his last year there. He's so good coming off the line of scrimmage, being a blitzer,
Yes.
being a plus at getting after the quarterback. And they just didn't use him that way at all. Like they decided to have him drop back in coverage more. They had him just not doing what he was so good at those first 2 years. Like that was kind of his X factor. It was like, yeah, he's a good off-ball linebacker. He's solid enough in coverage. He's a really good run defender. He's got makeup speed. He's got all this tangible, great stuff. But then you throw on the fact that he can also get after the quarterback. He can also blitz people. You can have him line up on the line of scrimmage off the edge. And he has real reps where you can see the bend around the corner. You can see him put a move on a tackle. I don't think he's going to be a pass rusher at the NFL level, but 6'2", 238, you stack on 7 more pounds, I think he can probably get you a couple snaps off the edge here and there. I just wish that Texas would have went back to that more often because he was very effective when he was going after and being sort of an athlete against the quarterback. But they didn't, right? They just really used him in that off-ball linebacker role, and he was really good. I mean, very, very good. I think he's well put together. He ran a 4.51 for somebody who's 238 pounds, who's 6'2". He looks physically impressive. He has the makeup speed to track down screens. He has sideline-to-sideline range. Like he's just a really good football player that I think kind of gets the Kenneth Murray comp because they're kind of similarly built. But I think they're just very different players. Kenneth Murray, by the way, you just look at him, shoulder pads, you're like, that guy's a stud. Then you watch him play. You're like, okay, well, let's
I remember his tape coming out. I remember his tape coming out because in coverage, all he did was drop in like a hook zone and like do like this and react. I was just like, bro, what are you covering? Like, what are you looking at? Like, the ball's been thrown to the flats. Go. And he's just still
cover players, not turf.
So, I don't think Anthony Hill is that. I pray to God he's not because, everything tells me that he's not that player, but I don't like hearing that comment. It just made me sad, man.
I'll tell you what, the one play that I think everyone should watch that I think might help turn your head on him is the interception he has versus Georgia. It's one of the best coverage snaps you'll see from a linebacker.
Yeah.
I mean, drops perfectly into space. Beautiful. That rep right there, it's like, okay, Kenneth Murray's not doing that. Anthony Hill, really good player. I'm not like round 1 hype on him like I was a few months ago. But I'm very okay with him being like an early round 2 type of guy. I think if you can get him around 3, you're getting a total steal.
Fellas, y'all cooked. Now it's time for the elite class of the elite class. But first, we have Arvell Reese, who's a hybrid of edge and linebacker. Metro's got him at 2. Metro, we know about Arvell Reese, but do you want to put any, any polish on this player? Any explanation why you see him as a linebacker more than an edge?
I think he's good both ways. I kind of tend to believe that they will probably push him out to play edge rusher because you're not going to draft a number 2 overall to play off-ball linebacker.
Right. That's why I didn't put him in my top.
Exactly. I can understand that.
Yeah.
But I think he's good as an off-ball linebacker too. Like he sees the field well. I don't think he's great in coverage, I say, but I think he's serviceable. I think he's so strong against the run. He stacks and sheds well. He can be disruptive. He's got plays from sideline to sideline speed. It just does a lot of things very well. And then you also add on the element of him also being a go-to pass rusher in the league. So, we've talked about him ad nauseum at this point. But, yeah, he's good either way. It doesn't matter what position he plays. He'll be good either way.
Thank you, sir. Arvell Reese, if you haven't heard of him, then I guess you're new to draft content and you clicked on the wrong video. Go check him out.
Go back to a few more videos. We'll have the explanation there.
Yeah, we'll figure it out. Next one, we're going to go with C.J. Allen out of Georgia. Brandon has him at 2. Metro has him at 5. It might be the biggest difference in this entire class we've talked about between these rankings. So I'm going to have Metro tear him down. I'm just kidding. I'm going to have Metro mention some questions he has on his game, and I'm going to let B. Ross close it with some positives. Metro, set the stage.
Yeah, so I watched his pro day, and I was very concerned, I guess would be the right way to put it. I like fluidity in all positions. I think if you struggle to get in and out of breaks, especially playing linebacker, it's going to be tough for him to survive in coverage versus shifty tight ends, the Eli Stowers, the Kenyon Sadiqs, the Colston Lovelands of the world. It's going to be tough for him to handle those guys. Those guys are so unbelievably fast and twitchy and have change of direction skills that it felt like CJ Allen, when you watched that pro day, it just took him like 2 extra steps to get in and out of breaks. It was like he had concrete in his shoes. It was a little weird. Now, the greatness about CJ Allen is he is such a damn good downhill run defender. Like, we talked about Josiah Trotter, how much I loved him. CJ Allen's there, but just has more to it. He's just a smarter football player, right? I just really am concerned about his lower half stiffness because it just feels like he doesn't have that ability to just cut and go, right? That ability to just cut and cover somebody. And I worry about, okay, we're going to run the scenario here again. Jahmyr Gibbs, one-on-one in open space. Jahmyr Gibbs can make people miss. He can change directions like the best of them. And, that's going to be tough for CJ. But we have seen the prototypes of the Roquan Smiths of the world who similar build, right? A little smaller, a little bit more like denser build, not the best athletes. But damn, they get downhill, they put a hitting on you. They're sound tacklers, and that's kind of what I like from CJ Allen. I think a lot of good qualities to him. I just have some concerns with his general movability. I think Galladay moves very well. I think Anthony Hill moves very well. I think Styles, I think Reese move very well. I think Trotter moves very well. I think CJ is just such a good run defender, but I am a tad worried about that ability to drop back, that ability to cover, that ability to, I don't know, just change directions on trick plays and things like that. It's a little concerning for me, but I do think he's going to be a hell of a football player. So, yeah, that's kind of my knocks on him.
Thank you very much, Metro. And for your honesty, man. This is like, before I give it back to Brandon, we do this because no one's necessarily right or wrong. It's what do we see with our own eyes. Brandon told me this, and he's an NFL scout. Like, I may see something different than him, and Josh may do the same. No one's right or wrong. It's just what do you see and why do you see it? And sometimes you just learn to get better in certain things. And then sometimes, man, you are the only person in the room who's right at the end of the day. So It's all an exercise. Back to you, Brandon. Why are you higher on CJ?
I'm higher because all of Metro concerns are absolutely correct. Absolutely correct. Like, he's not wrong, not one bit. But with that being said, good coordinators are not going to leave him one-on-one with Jahmyr Gibbs. They're going to find a way to be like, you know what? Cover grass, not ass.
Yep.
They just, you know what I mean? But no. So why I like him, because he is, like, to me, he's tough. Like, people think all football players are tough. That's not true. Not even remotely close. This dude is like, I'm talking about, he could play any decade before now and be considered tough. Like, he's physical at the point of attack. He's the best green dot guy. I think Sonny Styles is a close two. I think Sonny's a close two, but I think CJ's the best in terms of getting his guys lined up in the right position to have success on a consistent basis. Down in and down out. And like, for what he lacks athletically, he makes up for mentally, and I always appreciate that in guys. His ability to time up his blitzes, his ability to, like, there's a certain pace you have to play with at linebacker, because if you overrun it, the running backs cut back. If you stay too far on the back hip, then the running back keeps going. Like, he plays with a good pace. I was taught, when you're looking at a running back, you want to enter the same way that the running back does. So the running back takes 4 steps and cuts. The linebacker and the safety, you want to do the same exact thing. He does that at an elite level. To me, he's very close to Roquan. I don't think he is as explosive in coverage in terms of his movement skills, but he can cover ground. He can close windows and make plays on the ball. The difference was Roquan was picking those balls off. CJ is getting PBUs. To me, that's the difference in coverage. But as a run defender, he plays with heavy hands. He has some pop on contact. And, like, he's not a big guy, but he's strong, he's physical, and he does not back down from anybody when he's meeting them in the hole. So I think, that's kind of a lost art in today's game, because everyone is focused on speed and the passing game. But when you look at teams who win the Super Bowl, they can run the football. every team that goes on a run, they can end up running the football, and teams have trouble stopping the run. And I think to me, he's a guy who helps you run defense. No matter who's in front of him, I think he makes your team better. That's why I also have him at 2. I don't think it matters what scheme he plays in, who he plays around, what defensive coordinator. Too much is not predicated on any other variables. It's predicated on just him playing. And I think he's a really, really sound player who has a high floor to where at the least he's your first and second down running back. If all else fails, he's a really good run defender, and you take him off on 3rd down, and you live with that being a first round pick. Or he figures it out on 3rd down, and he becomes a serviceable passing down linebacker. So yeah, I was a big fan of him. Just watching him pre-snap was so impressive because he knew what was going on. He knew what the offense was doing before they did anything. And like those are small, nuanced things that to me separate athletes from players at times. Because some guys have to rely on their athleticism. And then some guys, they just rely on their mind. Well, think about getting older. You're going to lose athleticism. That's the nature of the business. That's the nature of life. Yeah, Metro. You're going to get old like me one day.
Hey,
you can wake up
already
one day.
dropped down to 10th.
You can wake up one day
5'2" to a 5'3",
and your whole left knee is gonna hurt. You're not gonna know why. Just sore. Like, what is happening with my knee? You just getting old. That's all that means. So no, but CJ to me isn't gonna have that problem. I think he's the guy who's gonna play a long time because he's so instinctive and smart.
Fellas, you did a great job. It's time for this or that on CJ Allen. Then we're finishing with our number 1 prospect in the linebackers. Let's take it back to 2021. We got Zaven Collins out of Tulsa going to the Cardinals at 16 overall. Or CJ Allen.
So I actually scouted Zaven. I thought he was an edge player though.
Yeah, I was gonna say, yeah, more of an edge.
I got him as
than
an
a
edge
linebacker.
player. Yeah.
Yeah, I'll go with CJ just because of that.
I'll take CJ. Yeah.
Let's go to 2022. Quay Walker, Packers, Georgia.
Whew. Oh, Quay. Actually, no. I'm gonna take CJ because it took Quay like a year or two to like get the mental that like CJ had. Athletically, he's better, but in between the ears, CJ's light years ahead.
Yeah, very different prospects. One's an athlete, one's the just gritty, tough, put the nose down. I'll take CJ with that one as well.
Good stuff. Final testament, we got Jack Campbell to the Lions at, what was it, 18th overall.
20, yeah. I like Jack Campbell.
I did too. Oh, that's tough.
You even said Michael Parsons, man.
No, it's not. I'm taking Jack.
Who you taking? Yeah, I'm taking Jack too. I'm taking Jack.
Jack was like, Jack 6'4", 240, 250. Like, he was prototypical linebacker.
Yep.
Yeah.
You're not going to say Micah?
Not say Micah. I will not say Micah, or I'm going to look like an absolute clown on the air. All right, folks. It's time for the number 1 prospect of the linebacker group, Sonny Styles, 6'5", 244, 33-inch arms, 10-inch hands, ran a 4.46 at the 40-yard dash. What? 44 vertical jump. God, may I say more? He's a freak of nature alien on this earth. And I want Metro to lead this off. Why is Sonny Styles be considered a top 5 prospect and top 5 pick in this year's draft?
He sees the field better than everyone in this class, in my opinion. Former safety, converted down to linebacker. He still has some of those safety instincts to him. The way he just, surveys the field, the way he's able to diagnose plays, the way he's able to take on contact. He's 6'5", 244 pounds. He's filled out very well. Again, we're talking about a safety who converted to linebacker, who's put on and is heavier than damn near everyone we've talked about on this list. I mean, I don't know if there's a single linebacker we've talked about who's bigger than Sonny Styles, who Styles is a converted linebacker or converted safety. It's really, really insane stuff from him. And I just think that is his floor. What we're getting now is his floor. So what's the ceiling, right? What is he 2 to 3, 4 years down the road as he's had more years of experience playing linebacker? I mean, he's just the total package. He gets downhill. He tackles damn near everything. His worst game was Miami. And I think Miami was a game where teams got after him a little bit. He got
Yeah.
blocked. He couldn't shed blocks as easily. He missed a few tackles. I'm willing to give him a pass because, number one, it was a playoff game. You know, you've had a full season of work. I'm not going to just knock you on this game. But it does raise the red flag of like, okay, Miami is a mauling style team that wants to punch you in the face. And how are you going to survive that in the NFL? That's a learning experience. He'll just get better from it. I'm not worried about it at all. I think he's got good sideline-to-sideline speed, fluidity in his hips. He can change directions very well. He can track down screens. He can track down running backs running to the outside. He can cover tight ends. He can cover slot receivers. Against the run, I do think at times, and he's going to have to get better at this, he's got to be better at stacking and shedding. There's just too many times on tape where I think that he does get caught up by offensive linemen. But again, put him in a situation with some decent defensive tackles that can slow down guards and tackles, he'll be totally fine. Even if he does have an offensive lineman, he can get around them. I don't think he's necessarily like perfect at it, but I think he's good enough. Just a lot to his game that's really, really positive. I'm willing to say that for a linebacker, he's one of the few blue chip players in this class for their positions. Which, by the way, you look at the blue chips, you got running back, you got a safety, and you got a linebacker. Kind of weird, man. A little bit weird how it works out sometimes. But you know what? I think Sonny Styles is an absolute freak, and I would be okay taking a top 10 player on this guy because he can play anywhere, by the way. Big nickel, play him in the box, Will, Sam, Mike. It don't matter. He can play all of them. And, yeah, I think he's a freak. I think he's awesome.
I mean, Metro, that was phenomenal, my friend. You get paid the big bucks for a reason. Now, Brandon, do you have anything to add on to that elite breakdown of our man?
Yeah. Only thing really is just that like I'm curious to see if he plays Michael Will because if I were a coach, I would put him at Will so he doesn't have to have the green dot. Like,
Who had the green dot for Ohio State?
He did.
I would pay attention. Yeah, I was going to say.
He did. But he played beside to me, a better freak of an athlete in Arvell.
And he had Caleb Downs right behind him, too.
Right. So I'm just like, all right. Right. But so like the way I'm thinking of it is I want 6'5", 244, 446 to just play free. You don't have to call anything, especially first year. You just go play. Let me go get a guy who can call the defense, who's limited as an athlete, who can get us all line. I don't want you go be special, because what can happen to some of these guys is they get caught up in the mental aspect of the game, and it can mess up what they do physically because they're thinking all the time because they have to, because Mike linebackers and safeties, they're the quarterbacks of the defense. You're always thinking of what happened in front of you, what happened behind you, and the next play, and the coaches in your ear. It's a lot to handle. Not saying that he can't handle it, but to maximize what he is and what you can get out of him possibly. Because to your point, I think this is his floor. I think at his floor, he plays, 12 years, make a couple Pro Bowls, pretty good player. At his ceiling, we're talking about him in the conversation with Fred Warner. And you know what I mean? Like one of those guys, like at his ceiling. Like that's what his resume to this point has said. But of course he has to get there. But yeah, I would like to see him play will and play protected.
I got one.
Who you got?
Kansas City playing with Nick Bolton.
Perfect fit.
Sweet.
Yep. Nick Bolton.
Perfect fit.
Knows the scheme.
Nick Bolton's been there. He's the green dot. He's been the green dot since his rookie year. Nothing's gonna change.
Nothing's gonna change. Yeah.
Because
if he goes to like the Giants or something,
he's not to be the guy.
Tremaine could, but
yeah.
I
mean, Tremaine did it in Buffalo and in Chicago. So
yeah, that's interesting.
But yeah, Kansas City would be an ideal fit. I don't know if he makes it out of the top 7 though.
I don't know. We'll see. Maybe he does. Hey, maybe. Dallas could use a green dot. Hey,
Dallas trade up both their first round picks for him.
I don't know.
Yeah, see? There you go. Because that's what he's worth right now. In the open market, he's worth 2 first round picks. He's 6'5", 244, ran 4.46. 2 first round picks. Yeah, see?
Can you afford that?
I mean, I can afford it, but it's like, okay, I can afford, I'm not saying I can, but hypothetically, it's like I can afford a Porsche, but I can get 2 Ferraris. I might look at the 2 Ferraris, man. I got me and get something like that. I don't need a Porsche. I need the 2 Ferraris. That's how I think of it.
I hear you. But yeah, man, Sonny Styles, insane prospect. I'm not gonna have anything on. I'm just gonna say this or that. Here's some past prospects. Let's run through it. First up at 5, I got Devin White out of LSU.
Oh, Sonny Styles.
Sonny Styles. I didn't like that one in coverage.
Close.
I did not like him in coverage.
Oh, this one's gonna be tough. Y'all ready? I need y'all to focus.
Scared. I'm focused.
Oklahoma All-Pro Kenneth Murray.
Okay. Yeah. Sonny Styles.
All right.
Those faces are like, I'm not even answering.
I'm
Let's
not
go to our
even
next one.
I'm not.
Okay. All right. Different player. Micah Parsons.
Micah
went at 12. Micah slid past a lot. There's a lot of good players in that class. All right. That was Jamar
Micah
Chase,
also had
Spencer
he had a lot of question marks too.
Oh yeah.
Micah slid because of some fake rumors. I remember that year, because
were they fake though?
Yes, so fake.
The more extreme ones for sure were. There was some crazy allegations.
They were killing his character, and like guys who like went into Penn State, like they tell you like that was Micah as like a 17-year-old freshman because like he was 5-star and all. I'm like, well, of course, like he was 17 and given the world.
Yeah.
And then he grew up. I said, you know how good you got to be to go top him and Jamar Chase didn't play during COVID.
Yeah.
And are all pro players and are all pro players to this day. Like, bro, I said, Micah is like different.
Micah.
Yeah. I love Sonny.
Oh,
Micah. Yeah.
Because Micah's, I mean, I guess it wasn't really a part of his evaluation, but now knowing it, he can also play off the edge pretty dang good too. He's pretty good at it, so maybe Sonny
That's
could.
the scary part.
All right, folks, I got one more for you, and it's the come to Jesus moment. How much do we love Sonny? 2012, 9th overall, Luke Kuechly.
Oh, Luke.
Well, I was 10, so I'll stay out of this one.
I played it. Listen, my right-handed God. I remember being on the sideline. We played them in Carolina his rookie year. He had like 22 tackles. You can look it up. He had like 20 plus tackles. When I say every other play or every play felt like it was Luke Kuechly on the tackle. So like on the sideline, we're like, all right, let's watch the rookie. Unbelievable what I've seen with my own 2 eyes with him. Like he was calling out our plays as we were breaking the huddle. Like he saw the formation. Power. I said, oh, we're going to lose. Oh, God. We're going to lose.
The white flag. Like, Kuechly's got us.
He was so smart. And the fact that he was smart, but he was like on top of it. He knew everything. He was one of the few players I ever felt inferior to mentally. Like I feel like I'm not working hard enough. I'm not working hard enough in the film.
That's what Kuechly does to you, man.
Kuechly is
things.
Kuechly's one of the best prospects over the last probably 15, 20 years. You can argue with any. I would stand on that hill versus anybody. He's one of the best prospects in the last 15, 20 years.
There's no better way to end it than that. So, folks, if you enjoyed the episode, please go subscribe down below. We're going to go through our list one more time, though. Brandon and then Metro, top 15. Let's start with you, Brandon. Go ahead.
15, Jack Kelly. 14, Torian York. 13, Caleb Elam-Zora. 12, Bryce Bocher. 11, Keyshawn Elliott. 10, Carson Sherrar. 9, Justin Jefferson. 8, Josiah Trotter. 7, Deontay Lawson. 6, Kyle Lewis. 5, Jacob Rodriguez. 4, Jake Galday. 3, Anthony Hill. 2, CJ Allen. And 1, Sonny Styles.
All right, for me, I got the caveat. 16, Eric Gentry. 15, Aiden Fisher. 14, Mr. Caveat himself, Owen Heineke, suing NCAA. I'm rooting for you, Owen. 13, Keyshawn Elliott. 12, Torian York. 11, Caleb's Alarms. 10, Bryce Betcher. 9, Deontay Lawson. 8, Kyle Lewis. 7, Jacob Rodriguez. 6, Josiah Trotter. 5, CJ Allen. 4, Anthony Hill. 3, Jake Galday. 2, Arvell Reese. And 1, Sonny Styles.
Go comment below which linebacker you think should be ranked higher than we have currently, and also the vice versa. Who's too high on our list? Who should be ranked lower? If you enjoyed this episode, please join us. Join the family and subscribe. We're on the road to 2K. We're 250 away. Our goal is to hit that by the draft, and it starts with you. Go sub down below. We appreciate y'all. We're coming out next week with some even more rankings. It's draft season, baby. We can't wait for it. It's April. Let's cap this off with the B. Ross. Get us out of here.
Thank you guys for tuning in. It's been a copacetic episode. Be sure to like, comment, and subscribe. Appreciate the love. Peace.